right, mic check, 1, 2. Here's a food for thought. I know, I see this on different social media platforms, and I'm sure you've heard this saying that a lot of women say today: I'm not settling. I'm gonna say it again. The words are, I'm not settling. What does that mean? What does that mean? I'm not settling for less, for someone that's ugly, for someone who does not make six figures, who's not 6 feet tall, with the six-pack abs. I'm not settling. What does that mean? Now, let's say that I agree with that concept, that statement, that thinking, that belief that you should not settle for any relationship. Let's just say I agree with it. You're right, I agree, spot on, etc. Let's say that you're, a young 25, 20, 27-year-old young woman, lady, all right? You're doing your thing, you're traveling, you're seeing the world. Maybe you just finished college, maybe you're pursuing your career, right? And let's fast forward 5-7 years, right? Now you're older. We'll say you're 33 to 35. And you're like, I'm not settling for just anyone. All right? A couple of more years go by, right? Let's just say another 5 years go by, right? You're no longer, 35, 37. You're 40 now. And you're still hanging on to that mindset of, I'm not settling for just anyone. All right? There's a certain point that a woman is no longer in her prime, right? You're getting out of your 20s, you're entering your early 30s, right? You're fine. Getting out of your 20s, entering your early 30s, you're fine. You get to your mid to late 30s, now you're pushing the clock, right? To have kids, to be around long enough, right? To, support them, raise them, see them grow up, graduate at some point so you can be a reasonable age, right? So that you can then see your grandkids, right? Let's say that you're still that baddie chick, right? I'm not settling. Now you're 40, right? A few more years go by. Let's say you're 45 now. Are you still settling? Is my question. Are you still settling? Or have you given up on that concept of, I don't have time to not settle? And I'll be honest with you. Everyone settles to some degree. Everyone does. I had this conversation with one of my kiddos, adult daughters, and I said, everyone settles to some degree. Do you think if I had the mindset and I said, I'm not settling for your mom who has 4 kids, I'm not settling for that. Do you think that, when I say that, and now that I've raised you and your siblings and my 2 daughters from our previous marriage, do you think that that saying still stands? Now that it's coming from the other end, from a guy, your stepfather. If I said I'm not settling, and let's say your mom was single or met somebody else, how would your life have changed? How would things look on that outlook if I took that avenue and said, I'm not settling for just any woman? I want her to have no kids. I want her to make 6 figures. I want her to be successful, have this, and this, and this, and look like a 10. At some point, you will settle. And you don't want to settle when it's too late, because then your options are limited. So Let me know what you think.